Good morning, students. Welcome to this new session. As you all know, we are on Unit 2.4, The Fall of Troy. In previous session, we learned that all kings and heroes of Greece declared war against the Trojans because Paris had persuaded Helen, the wife of Greek king Menelaus. So, without taking much of your time, let's see what today's session has stored for us. Students, open your textbook to page 41.
Students, let's see last question on page 41. Find the story of why Helen was persuaded by the goddess Aphrodite to elope with Paris. Now, once Zeus is a great god, was caught in a dilemma. He was asked by Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, these are the three goddesses, to select from them the most beautiful lady. Not wanting to take any sides in this, Zeus asked Paris to judge the three goddesses for him. In order to win, the three goddesses tried to bribe Paris with various things. Hera offered to make him king of Europe and Asia. Athena offered wisdom and skill in war, and Aphrodite offered the world's most beautiful woman, that was Helen. Paris accepted Aphrodite's offer and awarded her the title of being the fairest of the three. Aphrodite then persuaded Helen to elope with Paris to keep her promise. Students, what was the cause of the 10-year-old war between Greeks and the Trojans? The cause of the 10-year-old war between Greeks and the Trojans was that a prince of Troy, Paris, convinced the wife of a Greek king Menelaus, that is Helen, to elope, means to run away with him. And this enraged the Greeks, and so to take revenge, the Greeks attacked the city of Troy. Let's move further. The fighting went on daily, but the siege did not end. On the one hand, the Greeks could not take the city, and on the other hand, the Trojans could not force them to sail away. Every day the Trojans came out of the gates, and the Greeks came out of their tents and ships, and the fighting went on. Sometimes there were the great battles between the two armies. Sometimes there were the single fight between two great heroes. Sometimes the Trojans had the better of it, and sometimes the Greeks, but till the fighting went on. Why did the siege not end? Because the siege did not end. On one hand, the Greeks could not take the city, and the other hand, The Trojans couldn't force them to sail away, and fighting was going on daily. Great heroes on both the sides were killed in the course of the war. After leading the defense of his city for the 9 years, the brave Hector was at last killed by the Achilles, whom none could resist. But Achilles himself was killed later on by a poisoned arrow that entered his heel, the only part of his body where he could be wounded. Still later, the Paris himself was killed, also a poison arrow. Trojans were tired of being shut up in their city, and the Greeks were longing to see their homes again, but still the fighting went on and on.
Students, open your textbook to page 44. The Fall of Troy, Part 2. At last Troy was taken, not by force but by trick. It was the cunning Odysseus who thought of a plan to obtain the victory. "Let us build a great wooden horse," he said, "big enough to hold men inside it, and let some of our best fighters hide in the horse. Then let us burn our tents and pretend to sail away in our ships. But instead of sailing away, we will return in the night when the Trojans are asleep. We will attack the city and burn and kill." Greek leaders decided to follow the advice of the wise Odysseus. So a great horse of wood was made by a skillful engineer, and the greatest heroes, Menelaus, Odysseus himself, and others entered in it. The last man to go in being the architect himself, who knew the secret of opening and shutting the entrance. That evening, the Greeks burned their tent and sailed away in their ships. But they did not go very far. Only one man was left behind to pursue the Trojans to drag the horse into their city. We stop here for the day, and assignment of the day is on page number 41. There you will find 4 margin line questions. Just go through them, and if you go through the video carefully, you will get all the answers over there. So with this, we come to an end of today's session. Thank you.